Racial minorities make up 37% of the population, but 63% of unarmed people killed by law enforcement officers.
We got no justice for my son Jamal, who was shot 7 times in the back for doing nothing wrong. The DA refused to bring charges against the officers who murdered him. Judge Wilson, do not dismiss this case. Do not dismiss another mother who's lost her child, her only child, for no other reason than for the color of his skin.
Even when accounting for circumstances, cops are more likely to use force against Black people. This means that they're more likely to handcuff us, push us into walls or on the ground, and point weapons at us. Think of it this way. How many stories have you heard recently of a white person calling the cops on a Black person for no good reason? There were 2 men who were arrested at a coffee shop while waiting for a business partner, or the people up in the Bay Area who had the cops called on them for barbecuing in a public park, or the lady who called the cops on a Black child for selling water. Yeah, it's gotten so bad that surveys show that only 1/3 of Black Americans believe that cops have our best interests in mind. Study after study has found that people, including the police, subconsciously categorize men and boys of African descent as physically larger and more dangerous than they are. For police, this sort of bias has major consequences that run the gamut from racial profiling to fatal shootings. So if the bias that leads to racial profiling starts at a subconscious level, the obvious question is, what the hell do we do to stop it? For starters, we need to use our voices and demand that local police departments train their officers to overcome their implicit bias. We can do this by attending city council meetings and using our voices to fight for what's right. In some cities, police chief is an elected position, so exercising our right to vote is also a tangible step we should all be taking. In the meantime, you don't need to sit around and wait for every police officer in the country to overcome their implicit bias. You can start working on your own. So if you are a person who wants to help solve this problem, listen to us when we talk about our relationships with the police. It might not be the same for everyone, but it doesn't make it any less real. Share this video to take a stand against racial profiling.